Morning everybody, Rusty from the Rusty Razor got another shave today, and today we're going to be using Heritage Hill, the Patriot. I think that's right. Yeah, Patriot. Here. You got lime, bergamot, and patchouli. Oh yeah, like it's getting down there. I got about half of that used up. Yep, it's a nice little smell. If you like your citrus kind of scent, yeah, this is for you. And then today we're going to be using the third use of the Astra blades with the Rockwell 6S razor, the Sig Solo Special. Yes, Sig gave it to me, so hey, thanks Sig. Yeah, there is a blade in it. I'm glad you checked for if I put the blade in it. And I'm going to follow up with a little bit of Old Spice. Yeah, it's kind of like my, I guess it is, coming up on 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. You know, basically it would when we declared our independence. So, yeah, it's one of those things. So, yeah, I could go on a tirade rant about how we got rid of the monarchy, but it's back, and now we're being ruled by tyrants type of thing. Yeah, but I won't go there. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. All right, so, man, this really is like, it really fluffs up nice. And it smells good. Nice stuff. All right, so, get back in there. I got almost the Jeffrey Smith drippiness going on here. Has anybody seen anything from Jeff in a long time? He sort of fell off the face of the earth. Like one of those channels you like watching, and just up and gone. Yeah, it's like channels come and go. Now, there have been a few times I've thought about, you know, it's like, I still got my toe in the water type of thing. It's like, I used to do 3 videos a week, and then I decided to do 2, and since my operation, it's been 1. And it's like, you know what? I'm still in recovery. You know, it's amazing how just an operation kind of just like slows you down a little bit. And then you just kind of like, oh, well. You just kind of like, oh, yeah, my foot itches. Sorry. Like itchy. Yeah, okay, there we go. You just start reevaluating what's important in life. You know, like, yeah, I like doing my shaving videos. I like the community. But you know, it's like the amount of time that it takes to make the video, put it together and everything. It's like suddenly you find your time where you're just sitting there going, you know, I'd rather sit in my chair and recliner and relax a little bit and read a book for about an hour instead. Is that wrong to me? I don't know. I like everybody that you know, comments. You know, I love the comments and everything. I like watching videos when I'm at my desk. Unfortunately, still I'm in the same thing where I got my iPad that doesn't allow me to make comments. I can do the likes and stuff. But if you do see a comment from me on the channel, that means I went to my desktop and purposely went over there and made a comment. So it's not like I'm not seeing videos. It's just that I need better equipment in this day and age when my wife's retired. So she's around the house a little more. So it's like, yeah, you just got to figure out what's important, you know. And a lot of times I did all these videos when she was at work. Now that she's retired, around more. Yeah, she's right there doing. Okay, she's got the headphones in. I was like for a second there, I could hear the Hallmark channel going. Yeah, she watches a lot of Hallmark movies constantly, or she's on watching rom-coms and stuff on her Netflix. Oh, yeah. So that's another thing that makes it a little harder to do more videos. Because she considers this a waste of time. You could be doing something better with your time, couldn't you? Yeah. How many guys have a wife that's like that? Or some of you may not be married. I know some of you guys are not married, but tried it, didn't like it, moved on, you know. Like my wife and I are, hard to believe we're coming up on 40 years together. 40 years. I just seen something a while back where it's like 40 years in music. These are the popular songs 40 years ago, and you're like, oh man, has it been that long? And then when you're sitting there thinking about it, it's like, I'm pushing 60. Holy crap. Where did time go? You're just thinking. I was just thinking when I was eating my breakfast today. And I was like, oh yeah, it's like, I remember in 1990 when I was in boot camp. And we were marching in doing our we had to do our 20-mile road march back into Cantonment, you know, from out doing an FTX. And it was 4th of July. And they were doing the fireworks on the base, you know, to entertain there in Fort Jackson. And we always like to call it Jack Sand because the place is all sand. And you're always at the beach, but you never found the water, you know, type of thing. But I remember we're like dog-ass tired, marching in, and you're watching the fireworks going off, and you hear the old drill sergeant, "That's freedom, boys! That's freedom!" I'm like, oh yeah, it's freedom, all right. I could use a little freedom right now. I'm tired. All you're thinking about, like, I just want to get back, pack my gear in, and take a shower and hit the rack, you know, that type of thing. That's what you were thinking at the time. Yeah, that was it. I just seen, where the heck is it? Megan, was that Megan Levy? I think it was, seen the little thing that was on Netflix where they're screaming at him to get off the bus. You know how many of you guys had to come in on the bus and they're yelling and screaming at you to get off the bus, get off the bus. And I was just thinking, and my wife looked at me and was like, "Did you have to do that?" And I said, "Actually, no. I never got screamed at coming off the bus." Is when I got in, I got there 2 weeks. I spent 2 weeks in reception waiting for us to form up the company or companies, enough people to start basic training. So I had the extra 2 weeks. I was one of the first ones there. I remember coming in off the plane. They picked me up. Some specialist picked us up from the airport. There was like 4 or 5 of us. And he drove us to the area. He said, "All right, guys, here you go. Here's some racks. Just grab yourself a rack and go to sleep. Somebody will talk to you in the morning. And if you're hungry, here's some MREs." I was used to eating MREs because my brothers would give them to me. Usually it was the crappy ones. Like, who remembers the old dehydrated beef patty type thing from way back in the day? So I woke up that morning, we're all sitting around going, "Oh, I'm hungry." What's breakfast? And some NCO comes walking in, you know, he's just an admin kind of guy, you know, just an E5. "All right, guys, Now I'm going to take you over to the dining facility. We'll get you some breakfast. And it was like this, all right, let's just get you kind of squared away and get used to getting in the formation. You just line up to how to stand and attention and everything, and parade rest. And you go, all right, let's go get some breakfast. Like, let's march behind each other, and I'll do a little cadence, and you guys can learn how to march. Yeah, I'll get you in there. And that was pretty much a week of that. Just like that. That was my first week in the freaking Army. It was hilarious. And sooner or later, they just like, it comes over and says, let's get you some uniforms and stuff, get you all squared away. And they send us over and got us some uniforms. So we're set. You know, it's like we're in our BDUs. You know, that's the old woodland camo from back in the day. Shows your age. And so we're all sitting around there, and we got our boots and everything. It's like we pretty much got our gear that you're going to have for the entire time. We got our pictures taken, and the only thing we haven't done yet was got our immunization shots. That comes later when they actually formed us up, and then they were running through everybody. And that was a fun experience where they just line you up and just going down the line. You get all the medics with their little guns going. You go, ooh, 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 ooh. It's like both arms going down your arms. You go down the line, and you're like, son of a bitch, that hurt. So, but I remember it was like we went into the area because we already went there. By the time there was like 10 of us that had already gone through. And we were supposed to go through and get your uniforms and all that fun stuff. And they'd you start stuffing in your bag, double bag. Get it all squared away. You know, these guys are still in their civvy clothes, basically, getting their gear. And I remember we were sitting there on the bleachers when the bus comes rolling up. And then the DI showed up. This is the first time you get to see the DIs. We're sitting on the bleacher just watching this, and the DIs come running up, just screaming at them, you know, like Hell Week, you know, and you're like watching them. They're all lined up. We're there sitting around, and it was hilarious, you know. And then had them all lined up in formation. They're sitting we're sitting on the bleachers, and the DIs kind of turn around and go. Walks over to us. Are you guys part of this group? Said, yes, drill sergeant. He goes, all right, fall in, line yourself up. We'll get you squared away here in a second. He's like, and one of us that was part of the group, you know, he was a former Marine. They decided to join the Army, and they forced him to go through Army boot camp. And like, my best friend I had in high school, he joined the Army and then decided to go into the Marines, and he had to go back through Marine boot camp. So it was kind of like reverse, like the Army and the Marines force you to go do. You don't know anything. We got to program you how to think, and type of thing. So they got it squared away and got some formation and after spending all that time, you know, that admin sergeant had got us pretty much squared away when it comes to doing stuff. And we ended up, for the first few days, we were the squad leaders for the training, you know, our platoon and company. I remember many times where we would do stuff and I'd kind of screw up a little bit, and the drill sergeant, and he'd go, "What'd you do wrong?" And I didn't tell him, "Drill sergeant, I did this wrong." And he's like, "Well, don't do it again." And then someone else would just do the same damn thing, and they'd just like, "Drop, beat your Tyson, and it's like, it's like, everybody afterward, everybody's like, what in the hell? How do you get away with it? Hey, it's like, I'm 25 years old, man. It's like, it's not like I'm a kid or anything, I already got an education, because one of the first things they did was, they had, we're sitting around and the drill sergeants were asking what everybody's MOS is, what you plan on doing. It's like, got any education or anything? And there's a handful of us that, we're college grads, It's like, and when we went through, it was like, anybody that had a college degree was an E4. And the former Marine, he was an E4 too, also. So we were just kind of like, there was a handful of us that were E4s in boot camp. And I just kind of knew that it's like we had one drill sergeant who was a corporal. We're pretty much the same rank. And he says, the only reason I have, he was drill sergeant camp. He got promoted to sergeant like the last 2 weeks of our boot camp. And he actually became drill sergeant camp. We always had to call him drill sergeant, even though he was a corporal. And he was hilarious at times. He was Korean, grew up in Korea. You guys weak. You know nothing. I will break you and make you better. Like, he could run too. He was a marathon runner. And I was part of the marathon group. And we would literally, there's a thing where you'd run. It had a big ass hill. It was like a mile route. And the fat boys, we broke us up into 3 groups. You had the fat boys, the middle group, and then the advanced group. And there was like 15 of us that were in the advanced group that could run, because we were in shape to begin with. Because I was a jogger beforehand, I'd lift weights and jog and stayed in shape. Because like when I was in college, I played rugby. I was on the rugby team, so I was always trying to stay in shape. Because that's a hard ass game. And we'd run like 4 laps. We'd run the middle group, we'd run 2 laps for everyone they would do. We'd be passing up and like, come on, fat boys, let's go. Come on, push it. And then in the fat boy program is like, we do like 4 laps around before they even get the first one. We're like, it's going. Man, he could run, Drill Sergeant Krim. And I remember one time it was pouring rain outside, and I think he did want to go outside. He says, we're going to do something inside today. I'm going to make you hurt. I want to make you cry for your mamas. We did basically, was it Pilates, square, what the hell, the yoga and all that fun crap. So we're in our BDUs with the boots on, and we're doing all these kinds of exercises. And we had pushed all the racks to the side, and we're inside doing PT inside. And God, by the time we got done, it was like your legs were just like, and he's just like, come on, you're weak, pick your feet up. And it's like, I was in shape. And by the time I was done, I was drenched in sweat, man. It's like, I'm not used to doing it. I'm using parts of my body I've never used before, I don't think. And it was good, though. But it was I remember my dad, his birthday's on the 1st of July. And normally you only get 1 phone call a week. And that's usually like on a Saturday or a Sunday. And I was like, went into the office and I said, Drill Sergeant, today's my dad's birthday. They're like, is it all right if I make a phone call? And he goes, oh, hell yeah. Go down there and make a phone call. And I was like, So I went down there and made a phone call, and they escorted me down and having a conversation with my dad and telling him everything and happy birthday and everything. And they were having angel food cake and strawberries for, it's like, which is my favorite. That's my birthday cake, tell you that. In honor of me, so. And I got done with my phone call. I said, yeah, it sounded like you had a good call with your dad. And I was like, yeah, pretty close. And he's like, well, that's good. Be close to your dad. And he's like, oh, go ahead and sit over in the bleachers, you know. And he sat down. It's like when you got drill sergeant edition, that's who it was. And he ends up having a long conversation. He said, what's your plans with everything? Where are you going after this? And I was like, well, I got to go out to Colorado. And it's like where I'm going to do my 10-month training, you know, for Scribbler School, which is graphics illustrator. And he said, oh yeah, that's good stuff. You know, like, it's like, when you get out, you can have a real good job doing that. And it's like, yeah, that's part of the plan. And so it's like, it was weird where every time we had some crap detail where we had to go through, you remember when, those of you that went through where you had to crawl through the mud and under the wire and they're firing live rounds above your head. And then you end up in the field and you're just covered in muck and mud and you're in the tent and you're just like miserable and everything. And a little bit of Old Spice. And then drill sergeant Isham comes running over and he goes, oh, Martin, let's get on the truck. You're going back to cantonment. I was like, you got KP duty. And I was like, yes. Which means he drove me back to cantonment, got a hot shower, slept in the rack. Then I had to get up in the morning and do KP duty, which means, you know, it's like help cook the food and serve it. It's like before, it used to be like when you did KP, you're like sitting there washing dishes and you're miserable, you're getting wet and dirty. That was your first couple times, usually do it. And I was like, every time we had some crappy thing that had to happen, he'd just come over and said, yeah, you got KP duty. And when you did KP duty, you got to sit down and you got to eat the whole meal, relaxed, without them yelling, show it, you're not supposed to touch that stuff. Don't taste it, you just eat it. You know, that type thing. They're screaming at you in the chow hall. You're just eating your food and relaxing. And you're sitting around with the cooks and everything and relaxing and having a good time. And then afterwards, and here comes everybody. I'm just like, I remember they come marching in straight in and out of the field, and they're still covered in mud and everything, and you're all nice, clean and everything. And you're like, hey guys, how's it going? What do you want? It's like splotching the food on their plate. And they're like, mother. And you're like, oh my gosh, that was hilarious. That was my experience. That was all right. All right, there's an affiliate link down below for the Razor Company. So if you need something from the Razor Company, go ahead and click on it, and a little bit of kickback when we do our giveaway, they'll go towards it. So here we go. It was Heritage Hills. A bunch of veterans make this soap. There you go. The Patriot. Man, I like it. If Heritage Hill's watching, we need splashes to go with these things. Come on. I love it. I want more of it. All right. That was third use of the Astra blades with the Rockwell 6S razor from Sig Solo. Thank you, Sig. All right. That's a shave day, everybody. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Rusty out.